And we're live.
All right.
I know I did not put this out on Twitter or Discord, so let me get to that real quick, at least on Discord, and then we could actually get into the subject proper.
All right.
Wait, who are you people and how the fuck am I here?
We are the reptilians and we kidnapped you.
Okay, that makes perfect fucking sense.
It answers a lot of questions, doesn't it?
Hey, I did find green blood, so
You're either
Who told you
Vulcan
about-
or you're.
Who told you about the color of our blood?
Oh god.
hey, it's on video, motherfucker.
That was supposed to be secret information.
Hurry up and send your tweet so I can yell at people that I'm doing a thing against my will. I don't know why you drug me here.
Because of reasons.
Okay. And I just put it out on both. We're good now. So while I know no one is watching, the fact that it is live streamed shows at least a few people will. So who would like to start this off?
Oh
Because
man.
I have a feeling this is yours forte.
Skullfuck Ken Hovind. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
So go for Kid Hope. Got it.
Because I mean, come on. No. There's so much wrong with this. I don't even know where to fucking start.
Well, this was basically just going to originally start as just covering the videos that he put out specifically targeting kids.
Yeah.
And then
this was your baby.
He did what now?
Well, it was a. You didn't know about this one?
I do not keep up with Ken Hovind at all because I find his grifting infuriating.
This is Data's baby.
So basically what happened was I check into Hovind's channel every so often just to see what kind of nonsense he's putting out and occasionally to leave a comment just to poke at him a little bit. Well, one of his videos, it was a tour of his dinosaur adventure land. There's a few videos that he's put together, and I went to put a comment on one of those videos, and I realized that it wouldn't let me do that. The comments were disabled, and I'm thinking, okay, well, you know what? That's his prerogative. It's his channel. But then when I was on my phone, and when I pulled down to check and see what else I might want to pull up on YouTube, the video paused. And it turns out that anything targeted to children won't play in the mini player on your phone, which was an immediate red flag for me, because that means that all those videos, all 9 that he made, creation day 1 through 6, with 6 being a 2-parter and 2 days covering the flood, is getting shunted straight into YouTube Kids, which just sent me into a realm of pissed off that I've never been in my life.
Yeah, because I mean, the one that's just tantamount to child abuse. Teaching creation, their version of creationism is. I say this with absolutely no balls. It's tantamount to child abuse.
Oh, well, interestingly enough, Kent Hovind claims teaching evolution is child abuse.
He's also beat his child before.
Hey, I'm not above beating your own kids, because if you can't beat your kids, whose can you beat? I mean,
the funny thing is, that video that I did an initial knee-jerk reaction to this whole nonsense that he's got going on. That video is actually the highest viewed video on my channel right now.
Yeah, because skullfuck
Ken. Son of a bitch, Ace, you scared with me.
And I think it's not his official, his Ken Hovind official YouTube account that commented on it, but he commented on one of my other videos, and I'm pretty sure it's him because I've seen that same guy commenting in the streams and all that stuff, talking about, getting the internet fixed and all that, and it sounds like Hovind. So I'm not sure if it's actually him, and I'm actually waiting to see if I pop up on one of his whack and atheist nonsense videos.
I mean, you just may.
I'm giving it some time. I think he's got a backlog.
But let's actually get into this video properly. So, I'm sure everyone here is told Kent had a child die on his property.
Yeah, that's what got me involved. You see, we've gone from Adam's baby to, okay, hey, you remember that collab we talked about a while ago? Let's do a thing.
Yeah.
I found a thing.
Oh, you found a thing.
He has, of course, taken no responsibility for this.
Oh, of course not. Why would he?
Why would he? Indeed. It's only something that he's running.
And there's a Schnell in the chat. Shit, they found us.
They found us.
That is the point.
Holy crap, oh, fuck, who are you people? How'd you get in my room?
They found us. Oh my god.
Again, teleportation. We kidnapped you. I know we're laughing, trying to make jokes, but oh no, we lost an atom.
Uh-oh. Quick, do the song and dance. I'm entertaining. Really? Yeah, no.
There we go. Okay.
I touched a thing.
Oh no.
I touched a thing.
Don't touch the thing.
Don't touch the things.
Why are you touching my things?
I know we're laughing and joking, but it's because we have to. This is such a dark subject that if we don't try to humor ourselves, we're just going to be so insanely furious that this would be nothing but a bunch of screaming.
Well, this is partially why we're going to be referring to Hovind not by his name, because, let's face it, at this point, we've already established that he's a criminally negligent fraud. So we're just going to call him by his old prisoner number, 0645-2017.
Oh, yes. No.
I'm not
never a fan of deplatforming. I will never deplatform someone, but I am a fan of depersoning cocksuckers.
For the purposes of this, we're going to be referring to him as Kent. But when we do the videos about this, he's going to be referred to by his prisoner number.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Because I'm not going to remember that number.
You'll remember it by the time our video is done.
Yeah. I will refuse to call him by his name. I'll call him by Hovind. Even Conman, but I refuse to give him the niceties of calling him by his first name.
Yeah.
Oh, and the fact I'm Dr. Hovind. Bitch, you got your degree from a fucking mill.
He's not a doctor. I'm sorry. I don't care that his diploma says he is.
Oh no. Hold on. I have a picture of his diploma.
If you want, you can go to share screen, and it should allow us to pull it up.
Okay. Let me start minimizing a few things and hide my porn.
Oh gosh.
What? Don't judge me.
Okay.
Where do I hide this? Where do I hide this? Hold on. New folder. Folder. Not porn. There we go. No one will suspect. Okay, let me open up that picture. Where is it? There it is. That picture is open. Bring back up Streamlabs. Click the share screen thingy. I don't have two monitors. If they don't show these tips again, go. Share screen. So you can see my screen now, yeah?
No.
All right, hold on. Oh, there's another button to click.
There's always another button.
How many fucking buttons do I got to click? Rise?
All of them.
Like
all of them.
It won't let me click this. It won't let me click the other share button. It's making me click cancel.
Did you click? You have to actually click on it.
Okay.
And then click share.
Okay, it's smartness.
Yes.
I don't like this.
It makes sure you don't misclick.
To put this into
don't
perspective.
Show you my porn. Gotcha.
to put this into perspective, Patriot Bible College they say they're accredited now, but they're not because they basically joined a accreditation agency
Oh
that
God!
just
Here it is.
that just does accreditation to Christian and non-secular institutions. They are not accredited by any officially recognized government educational
They have their
agency at all.
accreditation thing, and then they have a big blue hyperlink to a disclaimer about it. But as you can see from my screen, this is Kent's diploma. This is their version of a seal right here. You'll see this is missing a state seal, missing a state accreditation number. This is not a valid diploma.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's literally not worth the paper it's printed on. But if you keep getting people telling you that, hey, that degree is not legitimate because you're not accredited, just make up your own accreditation agency, and then you can say you're accredited by somebody, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It works. It works. In fact, I got to go Googling now because I closed a whole bunch of tabs because I'm going back to that.
Yeah, I mean, grifter's got a grift.
And if you can't get accredited legitimately, just make your own bullshit accreditation agency.
Pretty much. So
found it through here. Don't mind me. I'm just running down my old rabbit hole again. Okay,
all the rabbit holes.
Go.
I am
All
putting.
right.
I'm
Okay.
going and putting back up that quote.
Oh well. I just found the thing that you need to see to laugh at this because the accreditation problem.
Oh, there's more to that.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's much more. It's a whole rabbit hole.
God, just
Okay.
his accreditation, his faux
when you start
accreditation.
when you start looking at Hovind, you go down one rabbit hole after another. You finish with him, you find out where he got his degree, that goes down another one. Then you take a look at what he's done in the past, and that leads down another rabbit hole.
It's never ending. I swear to God, it makes Hollow Earth theory seem sane and normal.
It's like Hovindception here, okay?
But here's their accreditation thing. Now they have authorization from the State of Colorado Commission of Higher Education to grant religious degrees. That's what they're authorized to do. Here's their accreditation is by the Accreditation Commission International, non-government Christian accreditation. See advisory. Oh my. What's this giant page of disclaimer with a disclaimer in the disclaimer?
Mm-hmm.
God, the disclaimers.
The disclaimer has a fucking disclaimer.
Oh yeah, you've hit pay dirt when you see that.
It's like, who accredited these people? What is this thing? Well, this thing is an international accrediting commission, which we made up and pulled out of our ass. Its purpose is the presentation of quality education in private schools, colleges, and theological seminars, as long as they follow the correct religious dogma. It's non-governmental, which means it doesn't count for shit. Here's their seal over here.
It's absolutely worthless.
That seal means fucking nothing. And their disclaimer has a goddamn disclaimer.
God. I know. I'm going, just so we're now clear on everything. So this is the incident we are talking about.
Yes, except the incident me and Data are going to cover isn't that complete text. We're going to deal with I think it's just slightly past that we end with what we're going to deal with.
Yeah.
So who would like to read this?
I'll give that to Data.
All right, let's see here. Let me zoom in a bit. Okay, so this is coming directly from, this is an excerpt from his video that he did within the last couple of days about this. It says, excuse me. We had this last Sunday rumors going around the internet about an accidental drowning at Dinosaur Adventureland, and it's true. There was a family with 5 kids, a twin 7-year-old, all playing in the lake together. The water was 3 feet deep. Suddenly, the dad noticed that Steven, the 7-year-old, was gone. Apparently, slipped on the dock and hit his head. Nobody saw it. We don't know, but he did drown in our lake. We tried, and he points to someone off screen, a guy by the name of Jonathan Rife, saying, your wife is a medical doctor. He's referring to Bethany Rife, who is a pediatrician. And she's right there on the scene.
These two people go into a rabbit hole in and of themselves. It is Bethany Rife has some questionable history.
Yeah. But anyway, real quick to get through this, they were right on the scene as soon as we got him out of the water. We don't know how long he was underwater. She gave him CPR, did everything right, took him to the hospital. It was too late. We don't know what happened. Anyway, the kids had a blast here, and the dad wants to bring all the kids back and loves the place. That's some bullshit. But there's one complete, he's saying now that there's one complete absolute idiot moron named Robert Beatty. He's a former IRS agent. They brought him out of retirement just to hassle him, or hassle me, quoting Hovind, because their IRS case against me looks so bad. What IRS case? Has he got another one going on now? They did so many things wrong and broke so many laws, they said, go make Hovind look bad. Yeah, I'm sure they said that. Robert Beatty, he did a Twitter thing, drowning at Kent Hovind compound. He calls us a compound because that's what you are. He does everything he can to belittle us. And he mispronounces his last name deliberately because he's a narcissist and belittles everyone who he can. Batty, crazy, insane, you'll drive me crazy, mad, insane, odd, queer, eccentric, deranged, demented. Now, bear in mind, he's doing this without ever pulling the picture of the kid off the screen. He's overlaying all of this, the picture of Beatty, the picture of definitions of Batty, and all that other shit. He's overlaying it on top of the image of the kid that just recently died on his property, which seems pretty callous to me. And he continues, good name for the guy, Robert Batty. So ignore what he says. And then he says, go on his Twitter page and explain to him sweetly, shut up, go get a life, find something constructive to do, don't make the family feel bad, the boy drowned, that's enough, shut up. And then he goes straight after this into, oh, by the way, we have some wonderful fishing on the property if you want to come down here.
Mm-hmm.
He just segued straight from, hey, a kid died, without even acknowledging how tragic that is, to acting like he's being fucking persecuted, and then moves straight on to, hey, come down here and do some fishing.
And yes,
what the fuck is wrong with him?
Yes, Evil Dad, I'm taking a fucking stroll.
So, yeah, if you notice, there's a few issues there. One, he's absolutely not taking any blame.
Well, of course not.
For a child dying on his property.
Well, of course not. If he takes any blame, he's admitting some kind of financial culpability because he has zero safety
and fault.
Yeah. Let's not forget he's running this place as a 501c3. You know, he's a goddamn nonprofit organization.
A nonprofit.
With 25 non-employed people living on the compound, which he is no doubt remunerating with cash. You know.
Yeah.
You know, the same thing he did.
I think he might have learned his lesson last time.
No.
I think he might have learned his lesson after that last one.
Okay, so he's not handing them cash, he just hands them access to cash?
Probably.
He hands them access to what they need and gives them money if they need it to go, take care of something, but they live at his compound.
Yeah.
So one would think that they have food, they have the basics that they need. If they want anything else,
they just
go, hey, I'm going to go get this.
I just really want to know, one, if he's classifying them as missionaries, and two,
mercenaries. You almost said mercenaries.
That they are fucking mercenaries.
I mean,
it's not wrong.
Yeah, is it?
I just want to know if he's classifying them as missionaries, and since he doesn't charge admission to the fucking park, if there's
the money coming from?
Mandatory donation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's questionable in and of itself, just on that.
Where's the money coming from? How? I mean, I know he gets donations, but how does he get the money to feed everybody on his compound? Where's that coming from?
Or just to keep the park up and running.
Oh, shit,
I mean,
man.
that costs money.
This slippery son of a bitch has his shit hidden under so many umbrellas and under so many different things that I'm having trouble tracking down where the original fucking nonprofit is, where it's all goddamn reported.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Okay, he's got that thing buried.
Heartbeat. I can pull up that fucking Christian Lawmaker Ministries. Run by that one fucking senator I started going after that got his ass fucking banned on Twitter.
Yeah.
There's a few of them.
I can find their shit in 30 seconds.
Yeah, the fact that he has so many paper trails all interwoven does make this very hard to track. Where is the money coming from? Where is it going? Who is donating? How much is being donated? How much is? I mean, he has such an interwoven paper trail that it's nigh impossible to keep up with it all.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. Honestly, I think at this point he's learned from the mistakes that he made the last time he tried to run this scam. So he's much more careful about how he goes about paying his employees, if you can even call them employees. He's much more careful about that. I think, honestly, the people that live there live for free, but if they want to go, get some basic supplies or something like that, like, toothbrush, toothpaste, stuff like that, their own little thing, they have a small, itty-bitty thing that they can pull from that isn't exactly paid to them. That's about the only way that I can think that he can swing that scam.
Yeah, that's without any evidence, I'd say that's probably true. I don't want to say definitively because slander, libel, whatever.
Yeah. Well, right now, this is just to be perfectly upfront.
Slander.
To be perfectly upfront, this is just This is just my own personal speculation on this at this point.
Now
off of his
a great way to avoid slander? In my personal, humble opinion, Kent Hovind is a lying, cheating, thieving, murdering, cock-sucking bastard who needs a good skull fucking.
Oh yeah, he got on your side. He got on your bad side, definitely. He's been on mine for quite some time.
I don't think I'd want to skull fuck him. I mean, he is kind of ugly.
I don't need to look at his face. I'm only looking at the top of his fucking head, and I don't care what that looks like.
That's fair. Okay.
And I don't want him to take the glasses off. I want him to cut.
You want them in his eyes. It's like one episode of what is it, Dragon Ball Z Abridged I watched one time. It was one of the movies that they did. Oh my god, I don't see anything but blood and glass.
Yep, that's what he was going to be saying.
That was one of the most ones.
Yeah, that was the Lord Slug.
Yeah.
I tell you, I came home from work today. I was going to sit down. I was going to play some Warframe and then some Space Nerds. And then I was going to go to bed. And then I ran across that fucking thing before I left work. And I've had it fucking rage on since then. I am positively throbbing. I need this.
Yeah. Because what's worse than him refusing to take personal responsibility for not putting up any safety precautions, blatantly avoiding anything that could have prevented this death, is that he has then taken it as a vendetta against someone for calling it what it is. It's a compound of a con man. He cons people for a living. That's what he's a grifter.
Yeah, we're actually going to be researching to see if they qualify as a cult too.
And he put everything from ignoring a child death from acknowledging a child died to using it to his advantage. Somehow, I give him credit. I don't know how he did it, but he has people that are on his side for this.
Oh yeah. Gotta keep the money coming in.
And I don't know. I have to give him credit because that's a level of grift. I don't know how. I don't know how to explain that. That's nobody should be able to grift this much.
Oh yeah, it's mind-boggling.
It should be literally impossible. Not illegal. Impossible. It goes against the laws of physics that this man can grift so much.
Well, we can say that he definitely learned something on his prison sentence the last time.
Was it how to take a dick?
It was how to avoid getting back into prison and still do the same thing.
Okay, that's fair. But to use the child's death to bolster your own part, to say, hey, this father was to bring his kids back down. Well, their brother just died.
Yeah, I'm calling some. As a parent, I'm calling some horse shit on that one.
Yeah,
that's some bullshit.
If my brother died somewhere, I would never want to go there. I don't even like going to certain hospitals because I had family members die there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what reality Hovind lives in to think that they're just going to get over that the brother died there and want to come back to fish.
To literally within what looks to be like literally 60 feet of where their brother, or in the case of the parents, where their son died, and just hang out there like nothing happened. I don't see that happening. I don't see them coming there to hang out ever. Not for at least a real long time. I don't see them coming back for a real long time.
I don't either. And then to also use it to attack someone, to have the audacity to say, hey, you need to go get a life. I mean, I cannot fathom that level of narcissism.
I can.
It amazes me that he just avoids the very fact that there's a grieving process that they're going to be going through. They are going to have this on their minds for a long time, and even if they get to the point where they accepted it and they understand the implications, even the kids they know what's going on, even if back at home they're okay, if they come back to Dinosaur Adventureland, they're gonna break down again. Yeah, they're gonna be breaking down again. It's just gonna reopen the same thing, and they may come back once, but after that they may not come back again, and they probably won't.
It makes me wonder if Kent has actually experienced a family member's death. I mean, like, I know he's old enough to have like his grandparents and maybe even his parents, but I don't know if he actually went through it. I don't know his brazen and callousness against this. makes me question if he has even acknowledged he's had people in his life die.
I honestly, from what I've seen of some of his videos, some of his later seminars that he's done, like there's one thing that we're going to be covering eventually, the 100 Reasons That Evolution is Stupid video that Hovind did, where he says early on that he makes it clear that his mom has passed away, and he doesn't, I mean, I don't know how long it had been since that happened, but I don't get the feeling that even before that he really had any empathy or ability or a capacity to not so much understand, but an ability to actually feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
he just seems like he doesn't have that ability at all. No empathy.
It doesn't. And then we have this person, which is sharing my screen again.
Oh boy.
It is Mark Stoney here.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god. Hold on.
Oh,
I need more brandy.
That one ain't woken. Well, I'll read it because this Mark Stoney here, and I'm not blocking out his name. I don't care. This is a public Facebook profile.
Yeah. No need to censor. It's publicly posted.
And I don't have many viewers here. I don't care if the viewers I have go after him to criticize this action, because what Mark here does is unforgivable.
But for legal reasons, he is not encouraging dogpiling.
Exactly. I was about to throw that out there.
I was cover your ass.
Well, no, that's why I said go and criticize.
There's a fine line there.
He says, how exactly did I defend anyone? You're the one inciting violence against my home, family, and friends. If you want to see me defend something, just go ahead and show up with a pitchfork and torch. You won't be disappointed. I personally do not know what's going on beforehand. It's nowhere on here, so I don't know the context of what he is responding to exactly.
Yeah, we are lacking a bit of context.
But what I do have is context of what he says in this message. Kent has acknowledged what happened and offered unlimited support to the family. I'm already calling bullshit. He doesn't seem like he cares much about the family, because if he knows if he tries to show anything, it's going to hold him in the long run for his business. This was refused. I don't buy that the family refused help. Also, I mean, there's a funeral cost. That costs money. It is by their request that he hasn't mentioned it publicly on his YouTube channel.
That I can see.
At which Kent has then directly mentioned it. You're really taking the whole never let a tragedy go to waste mindset. Kent had nothing to do with this child's unfortunate death. He wasn't even there. I'm not sure any level of precautions could have prevented what happened. You know,
yeah, that's a lot of horse shit.
Like life jackets, lifeguards, a designated swimming area, gold whales. There was a lot of things that could have prevented this.
And he has made no mention that he's even going to address what happened and tried to do anything to prevent it in the future.
And you know what? I'll go ahead and give the benefit of the doubt. Let's just say Hovind does implement all of these. Does that absolutely guarantee no one else would die of drowning in the future?
No, it doesn't.
It will not absolutely mitigate it, but it will mitigate it to the point that it is extremely unlikely. I mean, how often do people drown at public swimming pools? Not very often. Like,
Here's a
I think there's
question.
like less than 100 a year.
When's the last time someone drowned at Disneyland?
Exactly.
And whenever you're running an attraction, there's an implied degree of reasonable safety, which applies across the board. Now, the only distinction that can be made here, and one of the things that we need to figure out in the process of making this, is whether or not the land that he's doing this, that he has this park on, is private or public, because that distinction will make all the difference in what he is liable and what he is expected to do as a proprietor. If it's public land and he's just built on it with permission, and he's not actually in charge of this land and has no claim to it at all, then that's something else entirely. But if he has any claim at all to this land, if he is running this place as a park with all the expectations that we would normally have, then he has a degree of responsibility to maintain a reasonably safe environment. Otherwise, he is guilty of negligence.
Yeah, and we'll get into that.
We're going to be getting into that.
I don't know what the importance of him being there or not even is.
Him being there or not isn't really relevant. It's a matter of whether or not he, like I said, has any controlling interest in what goes on this land, as if he owns it. Because if he owns this property in any way, he is responsible for everything that happens on it, and he is expected, if he's running it as a park, to make a reasonable, to make an effort to have a reasonable amount of safety present, especially around areas like water.
Yeah. And so to continue on, I'm not sure any level of precautions could have prevented what happened. However, there were plenty of life jackets and other flotation devices. You won't find that at the majority of public swimming places. Sure, there is a no lifeguard on duty, and that is posted and mentioned in the waiver. This is not uncommon or negligent. You're right. He is right. Having no lifeguard on duty, but having a sign posting this and it being on a waiver does exempt you from negligence. Yeah, at that point, it is up to you and people around you to uphold safety.
Mm-hmm.
But he just says there were plenty of life jackets and other flotation devices. He doesn't, but it's not granted at where they are kept. If they are
normally in places like this
to whale.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Normally in situations like this, they should at the very least be mandated. Hey, because there's a place around. It's a ways away from me, but there's a water park area kind of like this, where everyone, even the adults, are required to wear life jackets at all times while they're in that area. Once they leave, they turn in the life jacket and they're done. But once they enter there, they're required to wear that life jacket.
Exactly. He seems. I don't know Mark. I've never heard of this person before now, but there seems to be a cognitive disconnect on that paragraph that I just read. Well, he doesn't either. He just will not or cannot connect that there should have been safety precautions that needed to be followed that were obviously not.
I mean, when you,
and I have
as a parent,
on what's the definition of plenty or maybe?
As a parent myself, if you're going to a place like this, me personally, I'm going to put a life jacket on my kids regardless. But there needs to be some mandated rule, even if they're not like me and they trust that their kids will be fine. There should be a mandated rule that says, hey, if you're going to be around this water, you need to wear a life jacket because it's the smart thing to do, regardless of how deep the water is. Because if you slip and hit your head and you go into the water, that life jacket has a pretty good chance of keeping you afloat and keeping your head above the water.
Yeah. And he goes on, which at this point he's just kind of throwing insults. And again, the insults could be warranted. Again, I don't have the context.
Yeah.
So I'm going to apply the principle of charity and say that the insults are in fact warranted. I'm not going to say they are justified, just warranted.
Yeah.
My child is not in danger. Despite your wishes that she is safe with me, her father, the person who cares more about her than literally anyone on the planet. If you cared about her, would you want to avoid areas that have blatant disregard on safety measures?
That's just...
You would think so.
Exactly. Yeah. So go ahead with your self-righteous indignation and hate-filled ignorance. You clearly don't know what you're talking about, and obviously you just want to be outraged. Most people tend to be outraged at a child's death.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a matter of wanting to be. It's just an innate human feature. A child dies, we get angry. It's a child.
Yeah.
So, how about show a little respect for the family? I get that may be a little much to ask from a sociopath like yourself, but hey, one can hope. Again, just to drive this home, those comments could be warranted. Again, not justified, just warranted. But to say that you just don't care, that you just want to be outraged that a child died, that the family is grieving, leave them alone, despite the fact that, to my knowledge, no one is going after the family.
No.
Yep.
In fact,
no.
I could.
No, there was nothing in there that, from the context that we got from that one thing, it's all focused on Hovind. There is no one going after the family over this. It's Hovind and his ultimate responsibility to provide a reasonable measure of safety for kids that he failed to do, evidently. And his inability to admit that he failed to do that, and his inability to take any amount of responsibility going forward and say, you know what, we're aware this happened. I would have been perfectly fine with him saying, you know, hey, this is a tragedy, it happened, but going forward, we're going to be implementing certain changes to try to make sure that this doesn't happen again. He wouldn't have even had to specify, because it's implied there.
There's literally only one reason why I give a shit about this, because you know me, I don't care. I give zero fucks about this kind of shit. Something died, oh well. Here's the reason I care. The only reason I care. This line right here. Anyway, the kids had a blast here. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I give a shit.
And if Hovind had said, like Adam said, well, a tragedy has happened, but we're going to try to correct what we were lacking on that directly led to this, so that we may hopefully keep another tragedy like this from happening again. I don't think anyone would be angry at Hovind. At least no reasonable person would. I mean, sure,
not over this anyway. Everyone's already pissed off at him anyway.
Because at that point, he's showing that he's handling this like a person. Well, he acknowledged, okay, a tragedy happened. A child died. We need to prevent this from happening again. And you're right, Seth, I'm talking. That would be an admission. And I don't think he's capable of doing that. Not that he won't. I don't think he is capable of admitting fault.
I will disagree with you there. I do agree with my little police girl. An admission is something he won't do, but not because he's not capable. I've watched many a Kent Hovind video. I've seen many an interaction with that Kent Hovind has had. He strikes me as sociopathic. He is perfectly capable. He's a monster because he knows better. I mean, I'm just your general everyday monster. He's the worst kind of monster you can have. This fuck knows better, just doesn't care.
And the reason why I say he is incapable of admitting fault is because I genuinely get the vibe of narcissism.
Oh yeah, he's a narcissist.
I like, honestly, I feel like he is one of the biggest narcissists probably in the country.
Have you seen our orange golem?
That's why I said probably one of, not the, but one of. I think he's up there with number 45.
Ziggy, I am never referring to him as Tea Daddy.
Thank you.
No, not happening.
Thank you. Don't.
That's your thing. Yes, if you're sociopathic, you are a narcissist. Much like if you're psychopathic, you're a narcissist. The difference is enlightened self-interest and then just not giving a shit and trying to grab everything you can fucking grab. Hovind, grabbing what he can grab. I honestly think, and I honestly believe, he doesn't believe half the bullshit he's spewing. He's just doing it because it makes him money.
No, I've already established, just from watching him, I already established that he does understand the subjects that he denies. He does understand evolution. He does understand radiometric dating. He does understand all that stuff. And he has to understand it because he has to know where to jump in to throw in whatever stupid little explanation he can for his followers. Just enough to obscure it enough so they don't understand it. He does understand these subjects.
Not only that, he has to understand it because he has been so wrong on so many counts where he has been corrected. He knows,
but
he knows these subjects.
Here's the beautiful thing:
he just will not accept them. No, I would stand by that. I think he genuinely does not accept them. Well, he is rejecting the reality of it. I think he genuinely does believe what he's spouting. But he has to know the subjects he disagrees about because of how wrong he is and has been for so many years.
In order for me to maintain any kind of semblance of faith in humanity and not just proceed with my plan of cleansing you fucks from the earth, I have to believe that he does not believe at least half that bullshit. If you can show me,
I didn't say that he believes it. He understands it.
No, I said he believes. I genuinely think he believes the shit.
Tea Daddy, when the cleansing comes, it starts with you.
Yeah.
Okay, just the fact that you called me that, I'm gonna say please. Please give me call. And to everyone watching, I know I pointed over here. My camera is right here. Otherwise, I'd be pointing here.
It's very rude. You're not looking at us.
Yeah, no, I just because how my desk
look
is set
me
up.
in the eye, you coward.
Fine.
He like I said, he understands the subjects well enough. He may not believe them, but he understands them well enough.
No, he knows.
He can. Oh he knows better.
He's not stupid.
Oh, well, I wouldn't go that far.
No, he's an idiot. There's a difference between an
idiot.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
That's
stupid,
fair.
You can educate. An idiot, you can't.
That's fair. I'll accept that distinction.
I mean, it's right up there with one of my favorite questions I used to ask that got me kicked off Twitter how many fucking times. Are you retarded or stupid? Because if you're retarded, we can help. Well, there's stupid and idiot. An idiot, you can't help. Stupid, you can educate.
To a degree.
He's not stupid. He's a fucking idiot.
Right up until I got into this this whole creationist thing, right until I got into this whole arena, I was of the opinion for a very long time that there's no such thing as a stupid question.
Yes, there is.
And then you ran into these people.
Yes.
But then I ran into people like Ray Comfort and all his nonsense and Ken Hovind. And then I realized that the extra caveat that goes along with that, there may not be such a thing as a stupid question, but there are a lot of inquisitive idiots out there.
Hey. I like inquisitive idiots. I do not like the ones that are just smart enough to use any kind of curiosity to twist things away from reality. Yeah. I'm sorry, I have to ground myself very much in reality. I don't like people who reject that.
And I feel like you're leaving out one of the biggest proponents of the stupid questions, Ben Stein.
Oh, man. He was such a severe disappointment to me. Yeah, that guy. Did you see, what was it? Expelled, no intelligence allowed?
I saw Hannah and Jake's video of it on it years ago.
Yeah, I went ahead and watched it before I went through and watched their review of it, and were
they pretty accurate?
Yeah,
they were pretty accurate.
Everyone that he talked to, I mean, there was a time when I was younger that I used to watch When Ben Stein's Money, and I was impressed with how knowledgeable he was, but that only takes him so far, because the stuff that he clearly does not understand, he really has a hard time getting, and he's displaying a concerning level of cognitive dissonance for someone who's seemingly as educated as he is.
Yeah, that's fair. And I have a quick question for you. Do y'all want to get into the rabbit hole that I had found before we got on this stream?
Oh boy, what rabbit hole did you find?
With Bethany Rife.
Oh, the pediatrician.
Yes.
Oh, and the telemedicine.
Telemedicine and a embryologist, according to Hovind.
That seems like something we should fact check.
Embryologist. I'm not gonna believe that.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not either. If you want to get into it, I can screen share. If not, that's fine. We've already been here for 50 minutes.
We might as well dive down another fucking rabbit hole. My rage on still going.
We've been here for 50 minutes.
We can go a few more minutes on this.
Yet.
It does not seem like we've been here for 50 minutes already.
Nope.
Shit.
No. It's amazing how much ground you cover when you're talking about this.
God, I know.
It just shows.
Sith, have we been here 50 minutes? I don't believe the fucking timer.
Yeah, we have.
The timer says 53 minutes.
No, the timer's a goddamn lie. I mean, believed me when I told him I couldn't fucking hear him.
Fuck off!
That was before we started recording. In all actuality, we've been here for like an hour and a half.
Yeah. I'm going to screen share that tab, though. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so y'all can see this, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so for this, Jonathan Rife, he is pretty much absent from this entire thing. All this entire page mainly just goes over Bethany, because she is the important one here. Jonathan is not really mentioned at all, and the most I could gather is that he is a registered electrician. This is his only picture, right here. The one that I just found.
Now we know how Hovind gets his power.
Yeah. This is his only picture on this entire thing. Most of it is all dealing with Bethany.
Interesting. Possible sexual fixation.
Well, no. I'm not going to go there. I think it's because she is the more relevant of the two, being in the medical field.
Yeah. And it's important because she was apparently on scene, so.
Exactly. So, as it says here, they are from Tomball, Texas, and have moved with themselves and their 4 children to Kent's 145-acre compound. Except that's not quite true, as we'll get to later. It seems like Jonathan and the children have moved there. Bethany is a bit more questionable. I'm not certain she has moved to the compound.
That's the loophole. I just realized that's the loophole.
And
he's not paying his quote unquote employees. He's got a few people at his compound, yeah, but if they're married, like this guy and his wife, if she's not living at the compound and she's still working, they could survive off of that income. Especially since he's essentially living with the kids at Hovind's compound for free. So they wouldn't actually have to go to him for money.
Probably correct.
That's probably the loophole.
But let's just go down here, and it does show that she is a pediatrician, at least on her Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
For privacy purposes, I am trying to cover out the number. Please don't call them.
No, don't.
Please don't. I'm
just going to throw that out there. This whole general thing, for legal reasons, we are not endorsing you harass, stalk, threaten, or verbally abuse or assault any individual listed on the screen or that we talk about at any time, because I don't like going to jail.
Yeah. I'm fine with everyone here criticizing and even mocking Hovind. He deserves it. But Jonathan and Bethany here, as far as I know, they don't deserve it. They just have a questionable history.
It's more accurate to call them the most recent victims of this con man.
Exactly. And I don't approve of victim blaming. So don't. But Bethany does, in fact, is a licensed Texas medical doctor, and she did apply for a medical license in Alabama. All fine and good. What's strange is that she has seemingly abandoned her previous Facebook page and her entire Facebook practice. Here you see that she's brother Jonathan, your wife Bethany, is a doctor. She's gone back to Texas for a few days, but it's just common sense. Kent Hovind on February 3rd of this year. That's an interesting line, but we'll get to in just a minute. So here we have her professional Facebook page. It doesn't really say when this was posted, but it does seem that it has been abandoned. But here's the interesting thing. Why is Dr. Wife doing telemedicine? I actually looked up that term. It is you were calling into a doctor and they diagnose you over the phone without
ever seeing you.
That's a red flag.
Can't be legal.
If it was renewing medication, that'd be one thing. That's questionable, but not necessarily wrong. Telemedicine, on top of just being questionable,
that can't be a legal medical practice.
Yeah, that definitely throws up a red flag.
Is she claiming to be a doctor?
Yes, she actually is an accredited pediatrician. She does have a license from Texas and did apply for an Alabama license. And on hold, here was the bio from the wife pediatrics. Dr.
Where
Wife,
did she go to school?
I did not look that up. I'm sure I could find that real quick. Let me do that.
Because that can't be legal. It cannot be legal to diagnose over the phone.
No, I'm pretty sure it isn't legal without some form of like a disclaimer, like, hey, I'm telling you this. This is what I think, but you should probably go see your regular doctor to confirm this kind of thing.
Okay, so she is a registered pediatrician in Tomball, Texas. She received her medical degree from the University of Texas Medical Branch and has been in practice between 6 to 10 years. Her specialty is in pediatrics.
Wait, she's been practicing for 6 to 10 years?
Yes.
That means she's just recently probably completed her residency within the last couple of years. Because once you go to medical school, you've got 8 years of school there. And once you go, then you have another 8 years of residency before you're even allowed to function unsupervised.
Well, no, this is whole residency. So she's probably been in the field for at least 2 decades. And
all the schooling and stuff.
You see, there's certain things you can do over the phone or via Skype with a doctor. Renew your medications, get a consult. You can call in a consult. Like one doctor can call another doctor and get a consultation on a case. This is what I got.
These are the symptoms. This is what I got. These are the tests that have been run.
But to run an actual examination, there is no fucking way that can be legal. She has to have like some kind of website or something where she advertises.
It would be Rife Pediatrics, which let me pull that up.
Yeah, pull that website up.
Then
if she's not just grossly breaking the law, there's going to be some giant disclaimer on it.
It's all about the loopholes. All about the fucking loopholes.
Okay, and let me cancel that and start a new screen share. Chrome tab. Okay, so here we are for the Rife Pediatrics. This does seem to be whole own page. Here we have Dr. Bethany Rife. She grew up in Tomball, Texas, and attended Rose Hill Christian and Tomball High Schools. Nothing out of the ordinary there.
Bachelor's at
school and a county public school, no big deal. After completing a bachelor's at Texas A&M, she was admitted to UTMB at Galveston for medical school. Her pediatric residency was completed at Texas A&M program at Scott and White in Temple, Texas. When training was completed, Dr. White returned home to work at a local clinic for 7 years. Even with a great job, there were things in the medical system that got in the way of patient care. The insurance companies were running the show. Dr. White had decided the best way to offer real care to patients was to run her own show. Okay.
Now, where's the disclaimer?
That right there is already kind of an alarming sentence.
Well, no. I will. All right. One, most doctors are narcissists. Well, most surgeons are narcissists. Most doctors are super people persons. But a lot of them have strong personalities. So a doctor thinking the best way to give care is to run their own show, that's not a red flag. That by itself is not a red flag.
I didn't say red flag. I said kind of alarming.
Well, no, that's alarming.
Particularly.
To me, that's not alarming. To me, that shows somebody with drive and
Somebody that has a drive and wants to improve the quality.
I'll give that one a pass. I'll give that a pass because, oh, Schnell wants the link. You should drop the link in the chat for her.
The link to this page?
Yep. Drop Schnell the link. By the way, hail Schnell.
Hail Schnell.
Is it bad that I did that whole arm thing, raising up, and yeah?
Probably. That probably would be a red flag if we were on camera.
The only reason I'm saying that's alarming is there are different levels of alarm for me. Because I heal just with what was said. Well, yes, insurance companies do kind of run the show. I'll give her that. That's not wrong. But there will, at least in America, there are reasons some insurance companies only work with some doctors because they have the accreditations. If you're leaving a hospital to go on your own, typically, unless you have been there for a long time to have built up trust, you don't have that kind of trust from the insurance companies to have them work with you. So that would inevitably cause the price for average people to rise. That's why I said it's alarming, because that is a move that, to me, after only for 7 years, that says she cared more about money than the people. That's why I said
nothing wrong with caring about money. Nothing wrong with caring about money.
You're right, there isn't. But there are certain fields where money should not be the driving factor.
But you can still care about money and wish to generate more while still performing adequately in your field. I know I'm playing devil's advocate here, and I'm now trying to someone we just went after to see what we could find to attack with. But let's find some better ammo than her bio.
No, I'm not going after to attack. Again, I genuinely think this woman is a victim.
Oh yeah, misled by Hovind for fuck all knows how long.
Oh, she doesn't accept insurance?
Yeah, the insurance companies were running the show, and Dr. Wife decided the best way to offer.
No, she doesn't accept insurance at all.
As she was planning to launch her own direct primary care, her husband and 4 children moved to Alabama. Thus, this practice became a telemedicine clinic. Dr. Wife will be traveling back to Tokyo for a few days every month. What?
Okay. So while we've been
she actually goes there for 3 weeks out of the month. She spends a week in Alabama, according to the site we were just on, which we'll get back to in a moment.
Well, hold on. While we've been dicking around on the bio page, Schnell has found how she's avoiding a lot of oversight. It's not that she just doesn't like insurance. She doesn't accept insurance. So there is no outside oversight.
That would be a problem.
Now we need to find her disclaimer. She has to have a disclaimer in there somewhere.
Let's see. It's not on the About page. Let's go to the Home.
Scroll all the way to the bottom of the page. Screw everything else all the way to the bottom. That's what we care about. It's all the way at the bottom. What do we got there?
It's always in the fine print.
We have nothing.
How about FAQ? You want my child, doing telemedicine. Can I use my insurance? Wife Pediatrics will not accept any insurance plan. You may be able to use your HSA account, but you should discuss this with your CPA. Dr. Wife may be able, in some instances, to give you a receipt to send to your insurance company, and some will reimburse you.
In some instances, you can get a receipt?
Yes. Why does Wife Pediatrics not accept insurance? Billing insurance requires hiring 1 to 2 personnel to do this, or outsourcing to a company. By not billing insurance, we can keep our overhead low and pass the savings to you.
No, that's bullshit.
Dr. Wife is able to focus more on patient care and much less on paperwork. Naturally, doctors spend over 50% of the time on paperwork, and most of this is for the insurance company.
No, that's
the next section. The next section. What if my child's illness cannot be managed over telemedicine?
If Dr. Wife is not able to definitively handle your child's illness over video chat, then she will send you to decide the best place to go for your family. Okay, at least she realizes that if she cannot, she'll send you to someone else.
No, that's a that's a catch-all. Try to save my ass.
I'm aware. I'm trying to play devil's advocate. I'm saying, hey, okay, at least there's this much. She could have not put that in at all.
Okay, we need to be a little charitable, but let's not be that fucking charitable. What about vaccinations? What about vaccinations?
Oh God.
What about vaccinations?
Glad to discuss vaccines and help you decide what is best for your family. Most vaccines can be ordered through a local pharmacy and given in a clinic. There is no requirement for vaccines.
Okay. She isn't. At least she's not an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah. Okay.
Even Hovind can't swing that at his age.
Dr. Wife has several connections around town that may help, and is glad to call ahead to the emergency room and keep in contact with you to navigate the healthcare system. Okay.
So she's covering her ass at least decently well.
If she's only operating as a medical intermediary, i.e., you call her, you're on video, you're like, hey, I got a rash. And she's like, okay, you need to go to a doctor.
You can go to this doctor. They won't charge you an arm and a leg kind of thing.
That's what she's doing. But you see, the problem is the only way we can tell this is if we shell out $40 or more a fucking month to get her on a fucking video call.
I'm not seeing anywhere for a disclaimer.
Hey,
the disclaimer seems to be split into individual things like vaccines. What if my child's illness can't be helped over the telecommunications?
Whoa. Apparently she is an anti-vaxxer.
Oh boy.
Thank you, Schnell, and my little lovely police girl. Thank you.
Hold up.
So does anyone want to help us get $40 a month to call her?
Hold up. Notice what I just highlighted.
Depression and anxiety. Wait.
No.
Okay, hold on. Coughs and colds. How the fuck do you treat a cold over the phone? Fever. You can't treat that over the phone. ADHD. How the fuck are they supposed to pay attention enough over a goddamn phone? Depression and anxiety. That's not a phone thing. That's a goddamn psychiatrist thing. Yeah. You go to a doctor, they're going to be like, here's a pill.
Most of these are just basic, hey, go get this medicine.
A few of them are, yes, but ADHD, depression, anxiety.
Insect bites, rash. How are you supposed to diagnose a rash? A rash could come from so many.
Yeah, I got these red bumps on my skin. Okay, what is it? Is it poison sumac? Are you allergic to oak and rubbed against an oak?
Yeah, insect bites.
Wait, hold on. Snail, she's prescribing medicine? Where? Yes. How can she do this?
Because she is
It's over the goddamn phone. How can you prescribe medicine over the phone?
Asthma, breathing problem. How can you diagnose breathing problem? How can you listen to someone's lungs to diagnose?
Maybe she asked them what the lungs sound like. It's like, well, have you ever tried to describe a noise in your fucking engine to a mechanic? Try describing a noise in your fucking lungs to a doctor.
And musculoskeletal injuries. I'm sorry, if I'm thinking I have a hairline fracture, no amount of talking on the phone is going to diagnose that.
Oh, sure.
Unless it's a bone. Unless someone shelled out $40 to call her up on Skype and ask, hey, my kid's arm is bent at this odd an angle, and my kid won't stop screaming. Is it broken? That's about the only real way that you can diagnose a broken bone over a video call.
Yeah, is the arm bent at a 90-degree angle in the middle? Yeah, it's broken.
That's an odd angle for a forearm to be at. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's broke. You should probably go see a doctor about that.
Yeah, if you notice, I just highlighted everything that is a problem.
all of it's a problem.
Yes,
Every
that's
fucking
the
bit of it's
point.
a problem.
That's the point. Oh, God.
No, you know what the big problem is? The biggest problem is that first fucking word. Get rid of that word. Get rid of telemet. It's not over the fucking phone. If they come to see you in person, yes, you can do all that. A general practitioner can handle all of that and refer you to the right specialist and send you to the right people. And hey, even try a few simple medicines at first to see if that helps before they send you off to the fucking specialist. It's going to cost you an arm and a leg because they accept insurance so you can afford it. None of this treatment is affordable without insurance. Do you have any idea how much asthma medication costs?
A lot.
Yeah. How about insulin? Insulin. That shit is worth more than fucking gold.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going back to the first page we were in. So it appears to this is just someone's opinion. There'll be her Facebook page is being abandoned. Nothing wrong with that. Facebook pages get abandoned all the time.
I've done that before myself.
Yeah.
Heel. Facebook.
Yeah. Heel, right here, is the one I just highlighted. Is the one that's kind of... It doesn't appear that she... It seems to me that her practice is being kept in... She's applying for one in Texas, in Alabama, yes, but it seems like she's also keeping it in Tomball because Bethany Wife's monthly commute.
Yeah.
She is traveling.
She doesn't live on the compound.
Yeah, she's traveling 575 miles one way a month. Minimum.
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
All right.
Like that's a long drive.
Like we said earlier, the deeper you look at this damn compound, the more rabbit holes you find.
The sketchier and sketchier it gets, and the more fucking holes you find. I found 3 different rabbit holes from just this one page that we're on. Just this one. There were 3 different rabbit holes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, by the way, if you haven't seen those videos on the creation thing that he's got going on, the ones that first got my interest with him, really, you'll see a recurring theme in those videos. What she does, Cindy, I think her name is, what she does when she does this tour, and it's kind of sort of not her fault. She's just another one of Hovind's victims. But she obviously does not know what she's talking about. Now, Hovind knows these subjects well enough to bullshit his way through them, but she does not. She's not as practiced as he is in this whole thing.
Is it the one I'm hovering over right now?
Let me see.
C. Clark Holm back in jail? Oh my God.
What the hell am I looking at?
What am I looking at? What'd you do?
What is this? And what's this back in jail? Who's back in jail? Why are they back in jail? Who is this? They're obviously attached to the compound.
Yeah, I just went to the baby home case and Jesus Christ.
What's the baby home case?
I don't
Holy fuck,
know.
we just find another rabbit? We just
found
another fucking rabbit.
We found another rabbit.
Oh,
okay.
That has
Anyway.
Adam, how long is this video stream we're going to end up fucking making going to be? Oh my God. We have educating Hovind. We have the fucking offshoots for... Oh,
yep.
son of a bitch.
We've got plenty of stuff to go after, but the recurring theme you'll see with Cindy doing the tour in Dinosaur Adventureland is there's child
endangerment, period.
No, here's the thing. You'll hey, this is what you see. You take a prism and you shine some light through it, and it splits the light into the rainbow, right?
Oh,
With
yeah,
no
that
explanation.
motherfucker.
No explanation as to how that happens. Hey, if you take a balloon and rub it on your head, it makes your hair attract to it with no explanation as to why it happens. Hey, if you run a lot of electricity through this Tesla coil, it makes lightning with no explanation as to how or why it does that. It's all, for all intents and purposes, the entire tour is look at this neat thing and don't ask why it happened because God did it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. To try continue on with this, just the Bethany life rabbit hole. So the one I highlighting now, it is a conversation on yet another YouTube video from February 14th of this year. An audience member asked, "Where do you think the AIDS virus came from?"
Oh, God, no.
Oh God!
No.
Already it's just already a bad question. Kent answered that we have a medical doctor here, point to Bethany. What did they tell you the origin of it? Bethany's response was inaudible, but no answer given. To which Kent replied, "It's not pediatric." Well, one is that it is genetically engineered to lower the population.
What?
You know what I love about all
What?
the depopulation conspiracy theories? That the population keeps freaking growing.
I kind of want to find this video and boost the audio like we're going to be doing with one of them, with the one where he addresses the unfortunate death of that child. There's some audio in the background that we can't hear when you're watching the video, but I'm going to be going through and boosting that to see to get a better gain on that.
Well, it is from February the 14th. After this video is done, in fact, I'll just go ahead and drop the link to this in the YouTube chat, so that after the video is done, we can go there.
What?
Seeing
So much
Bethany's
rage.
tried her hand at Roden and Fields. I'm not too sure what that is. Not important, at least not
Hey,
right now.
Broken Sword, welcome to the bullshit. It is utter nonsense and bullshit. Welcome. It's right.
Yeah. On February the 20th, Hovind again asked a really stupid question to the surprise of no one. You, Bethany wife, are a doctor. How long would you have to study the foot and ankle to understand to be a foot surgeon? 4 years, and then you don't know it all.
Hey, my little police girl wants to know who that is that's back in jail, real quick. Just that name. What is that name?
C. Clark Holm.
C. Clark Holm. That's the one back in jail.
I don't know what the C stands for. In a moment, we could easily go into that rabbit hole. But he was where it gets kind of well, Bethany seems to be overstepping her bounds as a pediatrician. Kent asked her if she said, "You, Bethany wife, are an embryologist, a doctor, a pediatrician. Does a baby ever have gill slits?" To which Bethany replied, "No." She's a pediatrician. She's not a doctor. She's not an embryologist.
Yeah, no, pediatrician. She deals with them when they're outside the womb, when they're small and screamy.
Yeah. In fact, I'll take that back. You could argue she's a doctor. She's a highly
Broken Sword, the police girl with the big titties. Sorry.
It's fine. She's a highly specialized doctor in only one specific field. In which case,
no, pediatrician is a general practitioner.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a specialized.
It's not a specialization.
No.
It's a general practitioner with a focus.
The specialization would be something like oncology.
Okay.
Oncology, orthopedics, virology.
Yeah.
Okay.
Surgeon. She's a general practitioner.
Okay, then I recant my statement. And that's as far as I read. So everything past everything from February 29th onwards is completely new information to me and to you. And if it's saying the mystery continues, I'm kind of curious.
Oh no.
A house in Pinehurst to rent. No big deal. Hovind is now claiming that Bethany is a doctor on his staff at Dinosaur Adventureland as of March 13th. We have
wait. He has a staff now?
According to him, according to his own words, we have a lady, Bethany wife, on staff who is a doctor. She addressed the whole staff at dinner time and said, switching to ellipses. But yes, he does admit he has a staff. So
a staff employee is being paid.
Yeah, so now it's a question of how are they being paid? Who is his staff? On the 18th, Hovind said, okay, now, Bethany, you're a doctor. What? How on earth? I know you don't want to get on camera because of your wet hair, but how on earth can they say something like this? EOVs happened by chance. How much time did you spend in medical schools for studying this kind of stuff?
Did she pass her medic? What were her grades in medical school?
Bethany's reply is unintelligible, and then Kent said, nobody understands it. It's complex beyond reason.
Okay, guys, I hate to interrupt and break our current stream going, but just for a bit of levity, I have to fucking laugh at this and throw this out here because remember how GameStop was going to stay open because they said they were a
essential business? Yes.
Yeah, they just got their fucking business license suspended until further notice.
Wait, who did again?
GameStop.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit, that's hilarious.
The operating permit of name of establishment GameStop is immediately suspended until further notice.
Shit.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. That is the levity we needed because this right here is where it gets dark.
Oh, man.
So on March 19th, 2 days ago, there was a drowning of a 7-year-old child at the compound on March 15th, 2020, a few days before the above reference of Bethany wife in one of Kit's videos. There was a related article about the drowning on the website at the following link, and following the screenshots of the newspaper article, which make reference to an on-site pediatrician as one who came to provide assistance at the drowning site.
Grab that link and put it in the Discord.
Interestingly, it does not name Bethany by name. It just references her by what she does. So
yeah, drop that in the Discord because we've been trying to find a copy of this for the last several hours, but the article itself is behind a paywall.
So
I hate articles.
The Monroe Journal, child drowns at Dinosaur Adventureland. As you can see, a very prominent picture of Mr. Hovind.
Except it's not the right picture. That's not the inmate's.
That's not the mugshot.
Hold on. I gotta pull up his fucking inmate number again.
Joe 645 2017.
Oh, you forgot the dash though.
The dash is between the last 3 digits.
Yeah.
And the rest of it.
You gotta say the dash, or you fucked up the inmate number, and they will tase your ass.
Shit.
Don't ask me why I know this. Don't ask me why I know this. And later, Zach.
Interestingly, it seems that Hovind is a former lifeguard. And
a
lifeguard
Tim's in the chat, everybody. Wait, lifeguard? He was a lifeguard? Who would trust him? Who would trust him with anything above a taco? I wouldn't even trust this fucker with a goldfish.
I knew a guy that used to be a lifeguard, and funny story, to put a little bit more levity on this, he went to do his advanced swim qualifications when we were in the Marine Corps, and one of the things that they have you do is something that he'd already done, which is how to rescue a drowning victim. Drowning victims don't act rationally.
Yeah, no.
And the instructor was just, thrashing around. He was just doing a dead man float.
Mm-hmm.
And when my buddy got up to him, the instructor that he was going to quote unquote save jumped up, took a breath, grabbed him, and started dragging him under the water. So there's something they teach you to do. They're like, all right, so you need to break the grip, okay? If you can't break the grip, then you need to do what you can to get this guy to let go of you. Well, what they didn't tell you was that if you're in a calm state of mind and you can't break the grip of a drowning victim and they're pulling you under, admittedly unintentionally, what you do is you drag them further down. That will get them to realize that they're getting dragged down, and they'll generally let go and start trying to go up to the surface again.
Yep.
But knowing that this guy was an instructor, and knowing that this instructor had been screwing with him the whole time that he'd been in this course, because he knew that my buddy used to be a lifeguard, what he did was he couldn't break the grip. So he reversed it and started dragging him down to the bottom. And did not let go of him. And the instructor's face went from, hey, I've got you, one of those evil grins, I've got you down here. And then when he realized that he was starting to get dragged to the bottom, his face, and that he was the one that was being held onto, his face went from, I got you, to, oh shit, oh no. And he finally let the instructor go, and they both popped up to the surface, and he grabbed him and dragged him in basically by his head to finish that particular section of the course. And the instructor was not happy with him, but he understood why he had done that.
Let's see. But to quote this, and I mean, this is kind of small text, so I'm probably gonna get a few words wrong. So, Dinosaur Adventureland was opened in 2018 by Hovind, who goes by the
quick correction.
This is Dinosaur Adventureland Mark II.
This version.
Yeah.
Mark II.
Goes by the nickname Dr. Dino.
Yeah, which is utterly bullshit, and we all know it.
And who is widely known for his efforts to prove that the Bible is scientifically accurate and that the theory of evolution is wrong.
But neither of which is true.
I mean, they are accurate. He is quite well known for that.
Oh, yeah.
He's just wrong about it.
Oh, yeah. Horribly wrong. Inexcusably wrong.
Yeah, no kidding. Hovind told the Evergreen Current on Tuesday that Alexander was swimming in 3 to 4 feet of water with his father and 4 younger siblings, ages 6 to 9, when the drowning occurred. Hovind said that at some point the father noticed that Alexander was missing and found him a short time later just below the water's surface. Hovind, who called the incident bizarre, said that the boy had a small mark on his head, which led some to think that he may have possibly slipped on a nearby dock and fallen unseen into the water. Before I go any further, I just want to say how terrifying that must have been for everyone. For Alexander while he was drowning, to the father not being able to find him, only to find him a little while later, just underneath the water. I cannot put into words the level of sorrow I feel for the family. And I cannot put into words how unfathomably angry I am at Kent for what he says about this entire incident.
That's why we're doing this.
Hovind, a former lifeguard and lifeguard instructor, noted that a pediatrician who lives on site at the park was on the scene of the drowning within minutes, and the CPR was begun immediately. Hovind said that the park takes every precaution possible to prevent accidents and noted that 20 life jackets were hanging available nearby for swimmers.
Wait, how many?
20. 20.
20. Okay.
Notice that it said they were made available, not that they have to wear them if they plan on swimming. They're just available.
Yeah.
That is not taking every precaution if they're just there. That's taking a precaution. Hovind said that Alexander was not wearing a life jacket. Hovind said that the drowning happened where they regularly hold baptisms, and he said the plans are in the works to erect a memorial for Alexander near the site. Hovind said that they'd offered to have Alexander buried in the park, but the family declined, saying that they would have his body returned to Indiana for burial. Hovind noted on Tuesday afternoon that the family had already returned home to Indiana. So you remember that quote that I said earlier from what's his name?
Yeah.
I don't know what's his name.
The Twitter dude?
On Facebook, yeah.
Oh yeah. That fucker.
Where they offered unlimited help and then they declined. Yeah, he lied. That person lied. He did not offer unlimited help, and he only offered to have the child buried at the park, not at home with his family.
I just want to throw out that I know exactly where Ken was going with that offer of burial at the park. It was going to be a martyr thing.
Yeah,
guarantee you, he was going to blow it up into some big thing. And look at this martyr for Jesus, blah blah blah. And which Professor Dave, Tim? Sorry, just shot straight to the chat.
Knowing Kent, yes.
I've seen a few Hovind debates. I tend to reach out and close them.
And it's another thing that what probably would have happened was if they had accepted to have the child buried at the park, which I don't think he would have been able to get the permits for anyway, they would have had to come back to the park. The family would have had to come back to the park to visit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he would have gone, look, they came back because they love this place so much.
Oh, yeah.
They would have invariably been unable to ever see their child again.
Yeah. Why?
That's what has me so fucking angry about this entire thing. Not because it was for some altruistic good. No.
He doesn't do anything unless it benefits him.
Exactly. Because he could have saw that, hey, we have this one family coming back every year because they love the place. Without ever mentioning the reason why they're coming back.
Is to visit their dead child.
So of course they're going to deny that. Because one, I would not want to drive to a different state to see my own family members. Just to spend a day at their grave. No. I don't even like driving 45 minutes away to see my own grandparents' graves. Because I don't like being there because it reminds me of the loss that I had.
You see, I don't get why you normal people visit graves at all. The person's dead. They don't know you're visiting. What the fuck's the point?
I don't visit graves. One graveyards just make me uncomfortable.
Why? Everything's dead there. Nothing's moving.
I'm aware. It's just I read a lot of zombie books and
I
want the zombies to come.
It's a cognitive disconnect. Well, I know nothing's going to happen. Everything here is dead. It just makes me feel uncomfortable. Mainly because everything there is dead.
Yes, it's dead and it's food.
Nah, I would not eat it. Nope.
You almost got him. You almost got him.
I'll get him. I'll get him before this is over.
No, I don't think so. No,
hey, I got you before this started, motherfucker. You think I won't get you in it?
Fuck off.
See, my police girl agrees. Graveyards are pretty.
But no, yeah, I don't think he could possibly have thought about doing that for an altruistic reason.
No, he doesn't do altruism.
No, that would be like me offering some. Okay, let's say I have this big compound thing going on, and something. No, I currently don't have my compound yet, Rise. Thank you for reminding me, you son of a bitch. But I'll have my compound eventually. But let's say I have this big compound thing going on, and something tragic happens on it, and I, being me, you two know me. I, being me, immediately go, okay, let's not go as far as a dead kid. Somebody gets like an arm amputated or something. And I immediately go, hey, let me pay those hospital bills right off the rip. Am I being altruistic?
Potentially. It depends on the context of whether or not you're
They're
insured.
on my property and their arm got ripped off.
Yeah.
That's the context.
That you're taking responsibility for it. So yeah, you could be seen to be acting altruistically as long as you're not eating the arm.
Or am I covering my ass when the lawsuit comes around?
Probably a little bit of both, actually.
No, it's straight to cover my ass. I'll be honest. Come on, this is me.
Knowing you, it would strictly be the latter. But in most people's cases, I would argue it's a bit of both. Notice why I said most people. Because I don't think for a second Kent does that for altruism in any capacity.
Hell no.
Because I don't even think Hovind can
apparently I have
describe what altruism even is.
And sorry, just one more digress because I actually have the live comments up and I'm reading them now, paying attention.
Same.
Apparently I have to gush over my big-titted police girl more because it embarrasses her.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done. That was it. It was just a call out. Back to our thing. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, there were so many, and then God, there's the C. Clark home, back in jail, the baby Sophia update. There were two different baby cases here.
What?
There's the baby home case and the baby Sophia update. What is it with babies and the Hovind compound?
Wait, what happened with the kids?
I don't.
Cliff's notes. Let's not dive down another rabbit hole. What are the Cliff's notes on this?
I don't know. I'd have to actually click on them, and I'm terrified to do that because the baby Sophia case update, at least it doesn't have any drop downs. The baby home case has, holy shit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You've gone over 10. That's way too many.
45 drop downs with an additional 12.
Oh my!
Pop-outs for 2 different drop downs. Holy shit! Yeah, I don't want to get into any more rabbit holes. Holy fuck!
Yeah, we've been going down rabbit holes for almost 2 hours now.
No, we have more holes to go down.
Yeah, we got holes to go down.
We have.
No, look, my rage on is still throbbing. We're not done.
Pull up one of the.
God. Let's see. You have
Flip a coin.
and Robert Beatty on structuring. Oh God, you have a lot of people versus Beatty on structuring.
What are they trying to say, that he's not guilty?
Well, people are trying to. This person is obviously going on the Kent is guilty. This whole website is dedicated to challenging, not even challenging, to documenting Hovind's false legal narratives.
All right.
But you have, just on structuring, you have Kent Hovind versus Robert Beatty. Brent Shavnor versus Robert Beatty, Joseph Edward versus Robert Beatty, Honest Land versus Robert Beatty, structuring indictment law and regulation, Brady Bill and Kent Hovind's sworn affidavit, structuring, DeMello versus Beatty on structuring, Kent Hovind lies to Rai Marie F. Ale, Kent Hovind and Brady
that explains why Hovind doesn't like Beatty. Beatty was probably the guy that was investigating him, and Hovind probably made, because I saw his Twitter handle, Hovind probably made such a impression on him that that's probably why he changed his handle.
Probably. Ken Hovind and Brady Balaam, two peas in the same soft sit. What is a soft sit? Pod. And a Hovind legal surprise, finally $50. What is a soft sit? Oh God, it's a sovereign citizen.
Yeah, fuck no.
Wait, he's saying, is he doing sovereign citizenship now?
I kind of want to know.
Because if he's doing sovereign citizen horse shit, that's another damn rabbit hole to go down.
Hovind is a sovereign citizen. God.
And we dove right down that rabbit hole.
Oh, son of a bitch.
This has been building for a while because you remember during his first indictment for tax fraud, the 58 count indictment, when he said that something along the lines of he couldn't be prosecuted under federal law because he was a citizen of the Republic of Florida.
Yep. And then he tried to say that he doesn't own anything because all his stuff belongs to God, and he doesn't have employees.
As a result, he did 9 years in prison, 10 years, whatever.
More.
Okay, real quick, I'm just gonna read the transcript from from just the beginning moments of his YouTube video on the sovereign citizen theology. Albeit it's missing some context, so there's that. Or like my judge, if there was a crime, it was 0 to 6 months. The judge said this crime. Real quick, hold up. No, I'm gonna have to get this so that everyone can see this because fucking hell.
Yeah.
Okay, can y'all see?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay.
No, I don't. I'm gonna say I can't see this.
I don't blame you.
I'm out of brandy.
I don't blame you.
There's no more brandy in my cup. Why are you doing this to me?
You're not a sovereign citizen. You're just a blind citizen. Obligatory joke out of the way. Or like my judge, if there was a crime, it was 0 to 6 months. The judge said, this crime is worse than rape. I'm enhancing this to 10 years. I am willing to bet money. The judge never said that. I served almost 9 years in federal prison over structuring. Over what? I didn't know what that was.
Bullshit.
If we get enough people to do what it says on that website, it'll still overturn the case. So
no, it won't.
And please do what it says. We need about 300 people. They tell me. Kent Hovind, March 9th, 2017.
No, he's already served his time. If he's still trying to get that stupid presidential pardon going on, then that's not happening for a couple of reasons. One, because he's already done the fucking time. He's not in prison anymore. A pardon is only supposed to get you out of prison or keep you from going to prison. And there's an implied admission of guilt.
That was 3 years ago. That was from March 9th of 2017.
Oh, yeah, so, he was already out by then.
Yeah, okay, that was for 3 years ago. I don't know why he's still saying, go sign this to get me out. He was already out. But whatever.
And if you accept a pardon, there's an implied admission of guilt, which means that you're admitting that you were guilty of the crime that you were accused of. He doesn't seem to understand that.
Why does it not shock me that Hovind is a sovereign citizen?
Why does it not surprise me that he doesn't understand any legal ramifications whatsoever?
because I don't think he actually understands law. Because again, he's a sovereign citizen. Sovereign citizens tend to not understand law.
He makes it a point to whenever someone gets on his case about being wrong about something, like, yeah, come down here, debate me. I'll debate you all with half my brain tied behind my back.
Which, I'm sorry, I don't know how that's possible. Dividing 0 by half doesn't work.
Yeah, he doesn't have half a brain to tie behind his back. I don't know how he functions.
Like, I get it. He's a narcissist. He thinks he's the smartest thing since Adam. Because God, he, for some odd reason, thinks Adam had 1 million IQ points or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck he thinks that. But
because back then Adam was the first man. You know, he was the smartest man around. He was the only fucker around, according to Hovind. That's what made him the smartest motherfucker around.
Well, no, he was the smartest man. Like, he was, according to Kent's theology, he was literally the only man around.
Yeah.
By default, he was the smartest man.
It's hard to beat that when you're the only man standing.
Exactly. Like, that's not you got this because you're true. It's you got this by default. And I'm sorry, adding by default to anything makes it less impressive. And in fact, it can raise some questions. Like, and to steal a John Oliver joke, I'm her boyfriend by default. Well, that's nice, but that raises some questions that I'd like to ask you.
And we're not even going to get into that whole thing about whether or not Adam and Eve existed. They didn't. Fucking story. We're not even going to litigate that.
Yeah, I can't even grant the position that they did. No, they didn't.
I've had people literally. I've had people literally argue with me over this whole point. Yeah, Adam and Eve existed. Their DNA was perfect. And I don't give a shit how perfect your DNA is. If you're still susceptible to the laws of biodiversity, then there's going to be enough mutations built up in that DNA to make you extinct within a few generations because you're not going to survive. Single-celled and single-celled and microscopic multicellular life can get away with it. But that's only because their lives are much simpler. That's only because they are much simpler in structure.
So if you notice, I put Tim Matthews' message up here because, yes,
I see that.
It's accurate. If he is the smallest by default, then by default, he's also the dumbest.
Yep.
Again, because he's literally the only man in the theology at that point. It's
the only one to measure against. The only one to measure against.
Tim, that is a great point, and I don't know how I've never thought about that before. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
That is wonderful.
But no, I can't even grant the position that they did exist because, one, like you said, though, people argue their DNA was perfect. What the fuck does that even mean?
Wait,
that whole thing about the DNA being more perfect, which is how Adam and Eve survived being essentially the only people on the planet. And where did Cain and Abel get their wives from? What was that one comic? Where do these mystery bitches come from?
Okay, guys,
yes.
Fuck you. I have to get more brandy now.
Go for it.
I hate you. I hate you. You son of a bitch, drink some fucking coffee. Adam, make him drink coffee. I'll be right back.
I will never
You're welcome.
water.
I need to get another drink when he gets back. Oh man, that whole thing, even from an early age, like I told you before, even from a really early age, none of this religion horse shit ever made any sense to me. Ever.
And
if I had heard his horse shit when I was a kid, he would have hated me because I had a better understanding of biology than he does when I was 8 years old. God, that whole fucking thing. And I'm actually glad that the first Sunday school lesson I had was Noah's Ark. That killed the whole thing for me right there. Like, wait, this is where we're starting? and then the sermon was on Adam and Eve. I'm like, yeah, no, there ain't no damn way.
Yeah, no, and it pisses me off that I used to accept this. But I mean, like, seriously, what does perfect DNA? What does that sentence even mean? What?
From what I've understood in my little discussions with people who do accept this, when they say that their DNA was perfect, it was not nearly as susceptible to mutation as it is today, and it had everything necessary in it to make every race of human that we have.
If it was not susceptible to mutation, then that already poses a whole host of problems.
Oh yeah.
But if it's not susceptible to mutation, it literally could not produce other races of people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But apparently, according to the mindset of them, the people that do believe that horseshit, since it was not as susceptible to mutation, that means that they could have had a far larger population before the mutation started taking effect, before the mutation rate that we see today. Because another thing that I see a whole lot of is, well, how do you know it was the same in the past as it is today? Why the fuck wouldn't it be? Why in the fuck wouldn't it be?
Yeah. Like, provide any evidence that it has ever been different.
That's one thing that that comes up all the time in radiometric dating too. You know, how do you know the decay rates have always been the same? Because they don't change unless you put the material in a nuclear reactor, and that only makes the reactions happen faster.
Yeah. God, how about we go for another 30 minutes, make this a 2.5-hour stream, and then I think at that point we've dove deep enough into enough rabbit holes, into enough frustration, enough sorrow about this entire situation that prompted this entire goddamn event, because Kent is physically incapable of admitting fault to a child's drowning, that he has to obfuscate to so many different people and situations that he seems to think it makes him morally incapable to anything.
Oh yeah, and we need to avoid giving Alucard alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, that's it. That's also why I'm saying let's stop in half an hour, because I don't want to be the reason a friend of mine dies of alcohol poisoning.
We're gonna have to lock him down. Like, no, you need to stop.
Yeah.
We're doing a collab. You can't die on me.
Yeah. At least if you do, wait for like an hour.
Give it a little bit of time to process through. Did he go to physically dig up his bottle of brandy out of his coffin, or what?
I don't know. It's taking an awful long time for that.
It's taking him a minute.
Actually, it's taking him 2. Almost 3.
I use that term loosely. It's an after effect of my time in. It'll be a minute. A minute translates to a whole host of different time frames. When do you think this will be done? In a minute? Okay, so you need like 5 to 10. Okay.
Here now, cat.
Oh, there he is. It took about 3 minutes, but he's finally here.
You were worried that you had to go digging up your coffin to find your brandy.
Oh, no. This pissed me off so bad I had to go bum a cigarette off my roommate because I was trying to quit and didn't buy any. And now there's a cat in here, and I have to deal with the cat meowing at me. And I have brandy now. So what's about this fucking perfect DNA?
That's a whole argument that I've gotten before, where apparently the DNA was not as susceptible or in any way susceptible to mutation until much later.
Yeah, no, that's not how fucking DNA works.
Oh yeah.
Do they know what perfect means? Do
No.
they know the definition of fucking perfect?
No, because they literally don't define
it consistently.
They don't apply. They define their God as perfect, yet their God his whole perfect plan was fucked up by a snake.
Yes, which, by the way, wasn't Satan.
Yes,
the
it
snake was not Satan.
I know.
And then he got bargained down at Sodom and Gomorrah. He didn't know how many good people were in Sodom and Gomorrah.
Exactly. No, Adam.
Well, let's not forget when their perfect God drowned the entire world because he
made a mistake. He made a mistake. He regretted.
Okay. But, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe, the world was corrupted by Satan, blah, blah, blah. So let's go over Satan real quick. All right.
He literally created him.
No, this is a real quick primer into what Satan is. Satan's actual name is Lucifer, the morning star. In the Torah, the Old Testament, he was the prosecutor of God. All right. He prosecuted our case to God to get into heaven as opposed to be sent off into fucking purgatory. God's prosecutor, an angel. All right. Angel who has no free will. Angels don't have free will. They are made perfectly because God had made them perfectly. And he was the prosecutor for man, who suddenly got free will and decided to be jealous of the son of a bitch who he was arguing for.
Yeah. And
I'll be back in a minute. You guys continue.
Okay. Not only that, Satan is literally a shortened version of Hasatan, a Hebrew term for the accuser, the challenger. Literally anyone
the opposite.
Can be literally anyone can be the Hasatan. God could be a Hasatan. If you are the main character of the story and you want a goal, and anyone accused and anyone is against your goal, they are a Hasatan.
Yes.
It got shortened.
They are the opposition.
Satan. Mm-hmm. Because Satan drives the narrative of evil, which in your head, I don't think anyone genuinely thinks they're the evil guy. Maybe a few exceptions, but for the most part, no one really thinks that. No one thinks they're doing bad because they're bad. They always think they're doing good. If anyone can be a Hasatan, the term has no real meaning. It's just a label given on anyone who is the other, the opposition. It's a bullshit term. And the fact that it got attributed to Satan, which, let's all, I'll even grant the Christians the position that the devil did, in fact, possess the snake in the Garden of Eden.
No,
why the fuck?
No,
why?
Because the devil didn't exist then.
No. Listen, I'll even grant their position that the devil did possess the snake. Why the fuck did the snake get punished then?
No, but here's the problem with that.
Oh, I know.
If you follow the timeline of the fucking Bible.
I know. He didn't exist.
Happened. Satan did not exist then. When Satan first existed? Satan first existed. He came into existence, the Satan as we know him, and the devil and blah, 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 and how the Christians portray him, came into existence in the book of Ezekiel.
Oh, I know. I know the story. That's why I said I'll grant the Christian narrative.
No, I will not grant them that narrative. I won't even fucking give them that.
Well, that's why I said narrative. That's why I said narrative rather than the Christian faith, because it's
heretical. It's heretical.
I'm aware.
It's heretical.
I know.
I love pointing out to these, especially these stupid sons of bitches that are now going, Jesus is God. Read your Bible. You're a heretic. You're going to fucking hell.
He's literally, if Jesus was God, why was it on the cross that he asked God, why have you forsaken me?
God, please take this cup from my lips. Why did Jesus pray? I'm sorry. I have read 16 fucking versions of the Bible, including one from the 1600s that still had the goddamn Apocrypha in it. Not one of those versions ever
supports the narrative of a Trinity.
Yes.
Even a binary. Even a binary doesn't support the binary.
The Trinity is not in there. You know what the Holy Spirit was? The Holy Spirit was the invocation of God. That was man's spirit invoking God. That is the fucking Holy Spirit. That's the Holy Spirit, not God. Jesus, called Son of Man. Son of Man. Right hand of God in the New Testament. Right hand of God in the New goddamn Testament. Son of Man, right hand of God, the Lamb, the sacrifice, not God. You have Yahweh.
His entire existence was just to be killed. That was the entire purpose of his existence within the narrative. And it doesn't even get that right. Because in the narrative, he starts asking, why is this happening to me? Why do I have to die? I'm sorry.
Literally prayed.
If Jesus is God, he knew that he had to be killed, even though he didn't have to, because God's all powerful. He could have easily just forgiven everyone, but no.
No. You need the blood sacrifice because, actually, it makes sense from going from the Torah
sacrificing a lamb. If it's a whole blood narrative, the blood sacrifice.
It does make wonderful sense when you're going from the Torah to the New Testament narrative.
Yeah, when you're going
blood sacrifice is required because let's not forget one of the commandments. By the way, there wasn't 10. It wasn't 10. It was 618 separate commandments, and one of them, get this, was you will sacrifice your firstborn upon my altar. Not only substitute for a lamb or a cow, but God's words exactly. No man comes to me empty-handed. Either give me your kid, or give me your livelihood. One or the other.
Yeah, and not only that, it's the fact that going from a Jewish religion to a proto-Christian religion, because let's face it, for a couple hundred years after the supposed time of Jesus, it was a proto-religion. It was still technically a branch of Judaism. It was
a cult.
Yeah, it was an apocryphal cult that was an offshoot of Judaism.
Mm-hmm.
And going from that, it makes sense, the whole blood sacrifice thing, because the ancient Jews were kind of bloodthirsty. They worshipped the war god. And it makes sense from that narrative. But from the Christian narrative, where Jesus is God, he knew everything that God knows. He is just as powerful as God. He is God. The fact that, one, he constantly prayed to God is already throwing a red flag of what the fuck you doing, dude?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he questioned why this is happening to him, and then he begged to make it stop. He knew, at least within the Christian narrative, why this was being done, and that it had to be done. So why ask this not happen? If you were literally doing this to save the lives of every human ever. Yeah, no. If it's one person versus untold billions, that one person's going to die. I'm not going to make a mess about it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
It makes no sense, and I hate it. Because there's no internal consistency. And this is the religion that this to get back to the actual subject, this is the religion that this dude follows. This negligent con man.
No, because remember, he's been disavowed. He's been disavowed by all the major organizations.
Oh yeah, he's
the ones that all agree with each other.
He still follows this religion.
No.
We're talking about the young Earth creationists right now. Every single young Earth creationist out there that isn't Hovind, that doesn't follow Hovind, that follows Answers in Genesis or any of the other ones,
has disavowed him. So let's not slur their stupidity with his.
No, I'm not. I'm specifically talking about Hovind.
Yeah, he's the lowest of the low-hanging fruit on the young Earth creationist tree.
Yeah, the young Earth creationist tree, that they have a lot of their own problems in and of themselves.
No,
but
wait,
Hovind has a whole host of other problems that they don't have.
And hold on, we got to go back to the live chat real quick. No one in their right fucking mind should worship Kratos. Just saying that.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Have you played any God of War games or
Do
read the
not
comics?
worship that. You respect that. You get the fuck out of its way, and you rub one out to it. You do not worship it and draw its attention.
Okay, maybe don't rub one out if you're trying to it, if you're trying to avoid its attention.
No. Go ahead and rub one out to it.
But other than that,
rub one out to it.
I will completely agree with that. That's not something you want to get
in
any way on your bad side. You acknowledge its existence and you stay the fuck out of its way.
Look, if I thought there was any way I could bend Daddy Kratos over and have my way with it, I'd be all for it. But no, we're going to avoid that and just move right on.
Okay, fine.
But I almost got him. Almost. I'll get him.
But no, like Hovind has his own host of problems that young Earth creationists typically, on the whole, do not have. He has... God, it would take a whole stream. It would take this entire time that we've already been here, 2 hours and 11 minutes, just to quote everything, all the problems that are unique to Hovind over every other young Earth creationist.
Oh yeah, he's still using in particular. He's still using the. Now you remember when he had his video debate with Aaron, where Aaron said that he was still using the carcass of a badly decomposed basking shark and passing it off as a plesiosaur, and he straight fucking denied it. You remember that?
He's still using it.
Oh no, yeah. If you watch the videos, the tour that I was originally starting on, the creation tour, he's using that, and he's still using the Inca stones, even though he's denied using either of those things publicly. He still uses them.
He's using the Inca stones.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's still using the Inca stones.
That are a known hoax.
Now, as a clarification, there is a set of Inca stones that are legitimate. The ones that he uses are the frauds, and they've been known to be frauds, and even Answers in Genesis has stopped using them.
I mean, it's kind of hard to argue that these are not frauds when he refuses to have them tested by anyone, even people who agree with him. He refuses to let anyone test them.
Yeah, and he used to have one. I think it was in his last little dinosaur Adventureland that he had, and he lost that when he lost the place.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's still using them, even though he flat out said that he's not using that argument anymore. No one ever had to correct me on that, because I've never said it. Bullshit! You've got it in your fucking museum, you stupid fuck.
Yeah, he is a chronic liar.
No, we already knew that because he has a standing offer for $250,000.
And actually, one of the guys that was backing him backed out.
Prove evolution.
One of the guys that was backing him actually backed out of that. He was fronting $50,000 of his own money.
Yeah,
and
smart one went now.
He backed out as soon as he. It took a little while, but he eventually backed out because he didn't want to risk his money on something that he knew was going to fail. Evidently.
Yep.
Yeah.
Except it's never going to fail because Hovind will never acknowledge.
Yeah, he moves the goalpost so much.
Well, he can flat out shut it down, even if you submit something and he sends it and it's good, and he sends it to a bunch of people that would evaluate it. Even if they said it was good, he can countermand them and say it's no good.
Yeah. And as he can also just shut down the entire thing at a moment's notice because there's no legal requirement for him to follow through.
Yeah. He's a known grifter, and that already pisses me off because grifting in and of itself just annoys me. Just rubs me wrong. The fact that he's a chronic liar that I would argue would even make the current chimpanzee in chief jealous.
No, we're not going to insult chimpanzees. He is the orange golem. Leave him at that. We've already had a monkey in a suit.
Okay,
racism joke. No.
Okay, except here's the thing, though. I am Jewish, so the golem thing, like, okay, hey.
Yeah, no, it fits. Come on. What happened to the Jewish golem? It got out of control.
Okay, you got a point. You got a point.
Except for that one in Supernatural. The one in Supernatural's doing its job.
I haven't watched Supernatural in forever.
Oh God.
Yeah. There's a guy. There's a Jewish dude. His grandfather was held prisoner. Old dude was held prisoner by the Nazis, and then the kid gets a suitcase. Like his grandfather sends him a suitcase, and he opens it, and this golem just comes out of it and forms in front of him, and it's stark freaking naked. And he'd been given a little book on how to control the golem, but it was in Hebrew, and he didn't believe his grandfather. So what he did was he used the book as rolling papers. So he had no clue how to control this golem at all. And it was only following his orders because that was the last order that it had received from its prior master. But he hadn't actually taken ownership of the golem.
I don't know. I feel like it's now time we get to the closing statements because fuck.
Yeah.
Here's what I can say about Hovind and how much he pisses me off. He makes me want to go full Leninist and send him to the gulag.
Ugh.
And I say this as someone who doesn't necessarily think Marxism is wrong. Who can look at syndicalism and go, that's a good idea. I like that. And he makes me go and think of Leninism is what we need to shut him up. There was an issue with this.
If there's anything that I can say about Hovind, is that he may come off as an idiot, but the difference between a blooming idiot and a budding genius is very fine. He's got a pretty good scam running right now, and he has worked very hard to make sure that it does not fail.
Yeah. You have anything to say, out of code?
Drink.
Comrades, come. We will drink elixir of life, and we will enjoy these things as we laugh at the stupid.
Come by.
Hello.
Unfortunately,
comrade, did you know in Soviet Russia rolled for Q? Yes, the only way I can deal with this now is I bring out Jim, the Russian. No, I will bring out Hansvik Nikolai, Russian communist good man. Hello, it is good time. We will deal with this now. Yes.
Okay, yes, but you say Russian communist. Are you a Leninist, a Marxist-Leninist, or a Trotskyist?
This sounds like capitalism to me, comrade.
Those are literally different forms of communism.
No, my friend. There is only one form of communism. Mine.
Okay, so
Mine.
I would have said Marxism.
No,
okay.
Mine. It is our communism, comrade. Come, you will come to Soviet Russia. We will give you a job and put you in Yugo. Is perfect car. Only car you need. Yugo. One Yugo. What is this? Oh my God! In chat, why is people going? Oh my God! What?
Because you. That's why.
What? You have never talked to Russian communists before?
Okay, you know what? I think on that note,
you will not cut me off, you capitalist pig dog.
I am not a capitalist. I routinely criticize capitalists. I think capitalism is very flawed.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I see your pretty house with all the things you have bought with capitalism in the fancy headset. This is not needed. No, you need stick with wire and little
I'm trying now to cover all of my things.
You cannot cover them, comrade. I have already looked at those things you buy with capitalism.
God, no, those
Why is people in shit dying? I am
completely off subject, but that reminds me. The accent reminds me that he's going to have a lot of Constitution saves to roll when he gets back in the game because he still hasn't figured out how badly he's screwed from that one D&D game we had.
Oh no, Jim Jones is very much screwed. He is very much screwed. Because for some reason, the dwarf that is immune to poison cannot make a con save to save his fucking life.
Oh, no. Okay. On this note, I think
we have only been talking for 2 hours and hold on. 2 hours and 20 minutes. I still have at least 20 minutes before I must masturbate and go to sleep.
Okay, I would like to hop on Warframe for a little bit.
No, wait, Warframe, what is this? Is this more capitalism? Why do you bring capitalism to me? I will crush it.
It is free. It is free. It is free.
Where is Soviet? How do I stream Soviet Anthem into this? It must be played.
Oh, God.
No, do not oh God me. God, there is no God, only man.
Okay, you're right. Oh man.
How do I stream my Soviet Anthem?
I think what we're gonna do here is that.
Oh shit! He's gonna be pissed at you.
I know he is.
You son of a bitch! You will tell me how to stream this thing.
No. You
son of a bitch! I will find. I know vaguely where you live. I can find you. You are only a few hours away. Do not think I will not find you and twist you into little pretzel.
I'm sorry. What was that?
How do I stream?
Okay. I'm going to unmute him this time, let him finish statement, and then I'm going to go.
All right.
I'd like to thank everyone for being here. I know this was long. A very dark topic that we just had to put into jokes because holy shit. I'd like to thank you all for sticking through with it, though. On that note, have a good night, everyone. And you're back.
Fuck you. I do not trust you. You will not let me say goodnight.
I'm letting you say goodnight.
Then you tell me how to stream my song.
I do not know how to do that. My hand's up here, though, so you know I'm not touching the mouse.
Oh, I cannot stream my song for everyone. This is very evil. Yes, Police Carl agrees. You are cruel, capitalist pig dog, muting my wonderful communist wisdom. Remember, best thing to eat is Russian turnip. Eat raw. It will either break your jaw or make you man. Is good thing. Yes. You take this and you go. You have wonderful night. I will finish some of this wonderful. Oh shit! Lennon would not be proud. I am drinking brandy.
Fuck Lennon.
Wrong persona.
Oh well. Hans Nikolai says good night.
Fuck Lennon and fuck the Leninists.
I would. All of them. Viciously.
Oh God.
What, you think there's something I wouldn't fuck that's not a chid? Not a kid? What the fuck's a chid?
I don't know. That's a good question.
No idea.
Great. Now get someone to draw what a chid is so I can figure out if I would fuck a chid. In the meantime, if it's not a kid, I'm a fuck it.
That's fair. We already have established that your sexual preference is everyone but you.
No, I would fuck me if I could. My sexual requirements are a pulse, and that is negotiable. Yeah.
Okay, Adam, do you have anything to say before I end the broadcast?
I think that about covers it.
Yeah, you just lost your entire viewer base. Have fun.
To be fair, I didn't really have one of those. But
well, I'm gonna be spamming this shit all over fucking Twitter because Daddy did a thing, kids. Daddy did a thing.
Okay. On that note, good night, everyone.
Peace.
Thank you for being here to a very dark subject. And this video will be mirrored on Adam's channel.
Ooh. Tell me, someone teach me how to mirror.
Just I'll tell you after.
Yeah.
All right.
That's for after.
Good night.